back, my book lovers. I'm back with a new book. It's called Infidel by Ayan Harisi Ali. It's a memoir. I wasn't really into memoirs last year, but I'm into them this year and I really like it. So I thought I'd give you guys a little book overview just so you guys can check it out yourself. So stay tuned. Because the book itself is a memoir on Ali, I didn't want to give too much information on the biographical information section. So I thought I'd just give you guys some important details that I thought were a need to know. This isn't her first memoir. This is actually her second one. Her first memoir is called The Caged Virgin. I believe this one focuses more on the religious aspect of her life, while the second one focuses more on her love life, relationship aspect. This one shows how she grew up, how she became so religious, how it affected her life, how it affected the way she thought, the way she educated herself, the way she presented herself in the public, and how the public perceived her. Throughout Ollie's entire novel that she wrote, her memoir, I felt like she struggled trying not to please others or trying not to do things for others or to impress others, but more so pleasing herself. So I felt like the entire theme of the novel was more so being an individual is not a decision, but it's a part of life. You can't go around following people because someone tells you to or because it's the right thing to do. You have to listen to your own intuition, and I think that's what she was trying to get across in her memoir. Her whole life she was supposed to be this woman who was supposed to obey her husband, supposed to follow what the women do, supposed to follow the religion. They're supposed to cook, they're supposed to clean, take care of the children, they're not supposed to have a job. But by the end of the novel, she ended up having her own job in a company that she applied for. And she was very proud of herself because she got to be an individual in a world that was telling her, don't be an individual. So moving on from a less intense situation and going along with the theme, there are some facts or some cool trivia that went along with the novel that I did not know. As I was reading it, when she was probably about 6 or 7, her mother moved out of Somalia to get away from the dictatorship. And when she moved, she had her 3 kids with her, Ali, her sister, and her brother. And the men in the airport refused to serve them because she was a woman without a man. Because she was a woman with the kids, they refused to serve her because there was no strong male figure. And I thought that was crazy that they would just refuse to serve her like that. She's a part of society, she's a part of community, she has children with her. So she ended up having to stay overnight in the airport until her husband could send a male figure to come and claim them and take them with him. And I thought that was pretty, like, crazy. And I also wanted to note that if it's not very clear, but Ali is very feminist. She has a very feministic view on life and on things growing up, where she was told she couldn't do certain things, she couldn't wear certain things, she couldn't say certain things, she couldn't question certain things. So I do have the book with me. I'm going to read my favorite passage from the book, which would hopefully give you guys a little insight on it. The passage I'm reading is very strong. It shows separation of genders. Here we go. Things were not going well at home. My parents' once strong bond was breaking down. Each had very different expectations of life. My mother felt that my father was not attentive enough to his family. It often fell to my mother to accompany us to school and back. Different schools, because Maha was a boy. Returning alone. She hated having to go out without a man, hating being hissed at by men on the street, stared at with insolence. All the Somalis told stories about women who had been accosted on the street, driven away, dumped on the roadside hours later, or simply never seen again. To be a woman out on her own was bad enough. To be a foreigner, and more of a black foreigner, meant you were barely human, unprotected, fair game. This passage is very powerful because it shows the separation of power between men and women. So before I ended this video, I wanted to give you guys some other options or some other reads that you guys might like if you guys end up reading Infidel. So Siddhartha and the biography of Whitney Houston, I felt, are very related to Infidel. Just like Siddhartha, Ali's very trying to find herself, looking for herself religiously, trying to find that enlightenment that Siddhartha ultimately finds at the end of the novel. And I think Ali does the same. With the biography of Whitney Houston, I feel the relation comes with Whitney's mother and Ali's mother. Both mothers, or both women, were very religious, and they're very strong-willed, and they're very strict. They don't let their daughters do certain things, and they don't like it when their daughters do things that they're not supposed to.